Cloud. There we are. Good morning, everyone. Love to see everybody's faces there. And again, I love seeing the fact that everybody is literally going from West Coast to East Coast every single time. It's just so exciting to be able to see that. We have a lot of people coming on board at this point in time. Certainly a lot of amazing people also being able to contribute to this particular Agent Circle Friday event as well. This is one of the beautiful things about this event is that it's open not only to obviously Epique agents, but it's open to every agent nationwide at this point in time. We would love to see more in attendance in terms of agents from other brokerages, because I think that's important to kind of share knowledge among each other. This is not a situation where it is Epique. It is a situation where it is about every agent nationwide from coast to coast, as I said. So welcome to the Agent Circle. Today we have a kind of a change in plan. Originally, we were scheduled to have our amazing state broker out of Mississippi, Natalie Grant, to come on to speak about lead generation for her team and, of course, how she works those leads. Unfortunately, there was an unexpected emergency that she needed to take care of and will not be on today. With that being said, that doesn't necessarily mean that we don't have some good stuff for you guys here today. So
I would love to interrupt you for just a moment and just all of us on a count of three wish her a happy birthday, because today is her birthday as well. So 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yeah.
Maybe she'll watch this and have a little bit of smile. So happy birthday, sweet girl.
We'll send that to her in a little bit. Yeah, so today is Natalie's birthday as well. So I'm glad you mentioned that, by the way, Mary. I saw that yesterday and I forgot to. It's been so busy today. I forgot to mention it, to see that. But anyhow, she is unfortunately unable to make it today. So today what we're going to do is we're still going to go along the line of lead generation and lead nurturing and how to interact with those leads. We have some special co-hosts today. We have Angela Christian Taylor out of Georgia. She's the state managing broker. She'll be helping us with our roundtable today. We have Mary Bagat, who out of Georgia, not Georgia. Arkansas. We're opening so fast. I'm trying to remember. I'm like, wait a minute. Arkansas, yeah. So she's also a part of the leadership team as well. We have Miss Jessica Smith out of Austin, Texas as well. And I don't see Donna here yet, but she'll pop in sometime soon here. We have our two normal co-hosts. Actually, Speedy is a little bit busy today, but he is here. And then we have Mr. 𝘍𝙬𝙤𝙦, who will not be on here because he's right now enjoying his vacation. He was telling me about how horrible he has it as he was getting a tan and sipping his Mai Tai this morning. So, and of course, my response was, boo-hoo, you have a cup, Carlos.
Here's Dawn. Dawn's coming now.
There she is. With that being said, Jessica, you have control of the room in terms of the putting up stuff and sharing. So I'm going to go ahead and let you do what you need to do there. And then all of us, we're going to jump in and have a discussion about how to lead generate and also how to nurture that. Now, let me also say that this is going to be a round table. So any one of us, any person here, we would love for you to jump in and also participate as well. Okay? Jessica?
Awesome. Thank you. And yes, I want this to be open, and you guys please stop me and jump in if you have things to add or share. But I have built my business just by nurturing my sphere and building relationships with the people I know, and I continue to refine and find things that work better, and I'm still doing so. So I will go ahead and share my screen. And Mary, Dawn, Angela, y'all feel free to chime in as well.
Absolutely.
All right. And I'm sure we've all heard this stat, but you guys, people don't do this. A lot of realtors, and I've been there as well, do not keep in touch with their people and continue these relationships after the transaction. So whether we mean it or not, I hate that there's people out there feeling like we don't care and we just wanted them for that commission check and that's it. I know there's realtors out there like that, but that's not any of us, I'm sure. So yeah, we can just kind of talk about the who and what to do with these guys, and then how to actually execute and make it consistent.
So in my opinion, it's not just our sphere, our clients, but it's actually the co-op agents that we work with as well. You know,
Mhm.
when you get a contract from somebody that you don't know what to expect, right? Are they going to be able to be in communication with you? Are you going to be able to get a hold of them? You know, what is their work aspect? How do they work? So it's not just our sphere and our past clients or current clients. It's actually those co-op agents that we need to build a relationship with. And I think that's really important for, you know, just making things smooth as well. So I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, absolutely. We've
Yeah,
all
and
had challenges there, and it makes it so much easier, makes transactions so much more pleasant when you have that relationship.
yeah, and Mary, to your point with that, you know, sometimes developing and really um, building on those relationships with those co-op agents actually makes it easier for you to get your deals accepted. You
Absolutely.
know, because then they know that you're someone that they really enjoy working with. And so I do think it's important to maintain those relationships beyond the closing, just like we want to do with clients.
I can't tell
100%.
you how many times I've gone to coffee or lunch or even just a happy hour. I mean, there's such a facade of we're all in competition against each other and we can't be friends. But it's such baloney. I mean, there's enough business for it to go around and everybody in every market. And why can't we just let's build that relationship and work together? So you know, it feels good. It definitely feels good, Angela, like you said, you know, when you know somebody and you see it come across, or you are, you know, putting a contract through an offer to them, you know what to expect. And that's just, you know, when you build your relationships, not only with your sphere, your past clients, your relational relationships with the co-op agents, and not even that, but your lenders, your title companies, it just makes your team and everybody involved, because that co-op agent is part of your team. It's part of that deal. So just
Yeah.
relationships in general are so important.
So true. And it helps you get what you want for your clients and
Absolutely.
find out more about the other party opposite the transaction, so you can really get your clients the offers accepted or whatever. But yeah, the more you're communicating with these people, the better. All
So that
right.
goes into your, where do you find these people? They're everywhere, right?
Yep.
They're
They're
everywhere.
everywhere.
They're everywhere that you do your business.
Yep. So whether
I
it's
see
a job,
that you say trainer at gym.
Yeah.
yes,
Love
people
it.
that are well connected and
That's
talk
also
to a lot of people
isn't that
every
also
day.
where you pick up dates as well? Trainers at gym.
I mean, we're not going to talk about my dating life here. But yeah, all the circles that you've been in, and this ties into social media too. I forget about people that I've known in prior careers and prior lives. And, you know, when I was in high school and college, and when my kids were at a different preschool or whatever, but there's so many little groups that we establish throughout our life. So whether you sit and brain dump or export from your phone or email, or just add a couple of people a day.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
just want to interject really quick there, Jess, that you know, I did a workshop back in October, I think, called Local Agent Legend, where we talk a lot about how to find these groups of people and how to develop those relationships, how to maintain those relationships, and how to really create the content around how you're going to build your real estate business through these relationships. And so I want to just, if it's okay with you, Jay, I'd like to just paste I have all of that workshop recorded. It's free to you guys to access. You can just, you register, and then it just sends you all the video. You have access to all the videos. And that's a really good workshop for you guys to do, that you can just watch whenever you want. And there's some, you know, activities and things in there that you can do that can help you actually create where you find these people.
Love
So I'll just paste that into the chat for you guys. So just feel free to just click on that and access
Not
that training
only
whenever it's
Angela, not only
convenient for
is
you.
that okay for you to drop it in there. In fact, I'm one of your students already. I registered.
Yeah.
It's a
Thank
great
you. I'm gonna go
workshop.
drop it in the chat.
It's
Then.
awesome.
definitely a great workshop, no matter where you are with your business.
Mm-hmm.
For
And
sure.
Dawn does such an amazing job at her VIP list too, you know, and
Yes.
touching her past clients and her sphere. And so it's just, you can find your business everywhere. I want to know what the funniest place anybody found somebody is. I mean, you were talking
Ooh.
about your hair, the gym. What's the funniest place you found somebody, or
So
the weirdest place?
One of my first clients here, when we moved here, I met on the river. So we have rivers and we all hang out at the rivers on the week. Well, this is I used to do this. I don't do this anymore. Maybe I need to, but
Maybe you need to.
I literally met this couple on the river while we're having a glass of water and just started talking, and she was looking for a house. I ended up selling her house, one of the first deals I did here. So found her on the river.
Awesome.
That's a great story.
And,
I love that. So
yeah,
it just
people
shows you
categorize.
anywhere. I
Yeah.
mean,
I have
and
one.
you know, we have realtors have bat ears, right? So anytime we hear somebody talking about real estate, we're like, ooh, you know, you're at dinner and you're like, you just want to slide them a card. Here you go.
I
Well,
have
we
one.
don't actually we don't slide them cards in. We just ask them to tap the card down. It's fine, or scan our card.
That's right. That's right. Hey, can I have your phone real quick? Penny, you had
Penny?
one?
Yeah.
I have one to share. You'll love this. Match.com.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
What?
ma'am.
Match.com. I actually dated this guy for a couple weeks, and after we broke up, I sold his house. 1.2 million was his listing, and then he bought a house too for 600. He was downsizing, and I charged him the full commission on both.
Yeah.
It was
Love
that
it.
bad of a date, huh? It was that bad of a date. Full commission. By
That's
the way,
awesome.
Full
Penny, I'm
commission.
not Penny, I'm not so sure how my wife would feel for me to be on Match.com advertising for business.
I know.
For real estate, honey. Yeah. So
Hey, Jay, I actually charged my mother full commission, just FYI.
as you should. Toughest
Oh,
transactions.
Yeah, speaking of, my dad asked me for a break on my commission as a buyer, and I said, well, you're not paying the commission. I'm like, you're not paying the commission. The seller is. I'm like, no, you can't have any of it.
Yep.
No.
So there's all kinds of different ways to kind of classify these people. I think it's really good to be able to love on them differently, whether it's kind of them and the transition that they're going to go through next. So you can send them relevant data if they're about to buy their first house, maybe, or if they're downsizing, you know, or even interests. There's so many segments and tags in our CRM. But also, if someone's sent you 5 people this last year, we need to make sure we're loving on them differently than maybe someone that bought a house from us 7 years ago, but hasn't really spoken or sent us anyone since then. So it is good to, whether it's VIP or, you know, AA plus, it is good to kind of segment and categorize them, because it's a lot easier to really love on them. And like I said, send them relevant stuff.
Oh, go back to that for a second, Jessica. I would love for anyone who wants to take a screenshot of the take. I like that. The A plus, A, B, C, D. I'm all about breaking things and giving specific label to things, because it just helps, you know, obviously organize everything. But that's a great way. I actually didn't do that before. The way I have it right now, I have it more of a 1, 2, 3, 4 situation.
Yeah,
But I like the
I
A
like
plus
it.
part of it.
Yep. And I'll share these slides as well if anybody wants them.
And you can tag your CRM. You can put them A, B, C, so that when you're wanting to reach out to those people, you just filter your AAs and there they all are. So
Yeah.
I challenge everybody to do that. I did that years ago, and it took a while, but it was so worth it. I ended up for 5 years with a 98% referral company after I did that. And it was absolutely, you know, nurturing my people and having them in an area that I could pull them up and love on them.
Absolutely. And if there's a nice event that's a little bit more expensive, or a nice something gift box you come across that you can't send it to your whole hundreds of people, but it's really easy to identify your top 10, top 20, whatever, if they're segmented like that. And then I very much recommend having some technology in there because we get busy and transactions happen and life and family things happen, and it's so hard to remember. So you can schedule little to-do lists. You can once a week, I have like their Facebook pages tied to their Lofty account. And so it's easier to delegate when you do this. I have my virtual assistant go in there and look at their Facebook pages and just give me a heads up if there's a reason why I should reach out, like whether it's their, a pet passing away or congrats on the new job. I want to know those things for my VIPs and my A+ people. And I want to be reminded when it's time to touch base with them because, I am not like, oh, I want to call everyone every day. It's not who I am. I call
So
the
Jess,
same
do you,
people.
when you said there's Facebook connected to them, does that mean your friend list? Do you put them in as A's, A+, B's?
I do.
That's amazing.
I add people on Facebook, but in their Lofty profile, there's a place to enter their Facebook profile link.
Yep. Gotcha.
So, yeah, that's what I do.
Love it.
All right.
That's cool.
We can go quickly over some of this stuff, but usually people don't mind if you're updating your info, if you shoot them a quick text and ask them how you're doing and let them know you're updating your records, your database, and want to know what their birthday is. So if you have blanks, it's okay. You can still send them info or call or text or email them based on the information you have. But I don't know if they say no, please don't keep in touch with local info and fun things to do, then that's totally fine. Maybe they wouldn't be the right people to send you business, but yeah. And then I like doing things that are unexpected. So a lot of people might, a holiday card is nice and a birthday shout out, but if it's like a half birthday or a kid's birthday or their home anniversary or other dates that they don't expect anything, I like sending those little surprise and delight things. So even if you're like, if you notice they're on a vacation, that's actually perfect because cruises and hotels are so good at this stuff. You can just call them and ask to send a bottle of wine or something to their room and give them a little gift, but just random, unexpected like ways to surprise and delight your people are so much fun for me. I like having that. And who wouldn't post about that? Oh my gosh, my realtor just sent us a bottle of wine on our anniversary vacation or whatever. So I like kind of trying to get creative with it like that.
I love that surprise
Wow.
and delight. I love it.
Yeah, I actually didn't think about that, but a couple going on vacation, celebrating the anniversary, that's actually a great idea. Having the hotel send them a bottle. That's awesome, actually.
Yeah, and it's super easy. And then we don't have to get super specific here, but there are so many things to do depending on your personality and depending on their personality. And I'm starting to try to ask people when we wrap up a transaction how they prefer to be communicated with. Because if I'm posting everything on Facebook and they're not on Facebook, they don't care. Or if they, I don't know, really don't like talking on the phone or have a different schedule. So it's not always about you, it's about them, and however they want to be connected is preferred. What do you guys think and do? Handwritten notes, that's how I started.
I use
I
send out
just wanna-
cards.
Yeah, and I just want to say I remember one time I was sitting down at a table. It was after an all-day event that Michael Mayer had put on. And so for you guys that don't know him, he's the author of the 7 Levels of Communication. And it was an all-day event that he had, and I stayed to the end. And then when it was over, I was sitting at a table with just Michael and one of his guys from his team, and we were sitting there, and I was first I was just kind of giving him a little bit of crap. I was like, what did you do differently? Because I saw you speak 5 years ago and you were terrible. Like, and you're amazing now. What did you do that was so different, And so we were having this long conversation. We were talking about, the impact that his work has on people. And there was something that he had said that is not in his book. And he also co-authored Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents. And it's not in there either, but it was something that he said. He said, do you he said, "What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?" And I was like, "Well, I'm allergic to dairy. I don't eat ice cream." You know? And he said, "Okay, what's your husband's favorite flavor of ice cream?" And I'm like, "Okay, you know, it's chocolate, right?" And then he says, "Okay, now name a client that you have." And I'm like, "Okay, you know, Dawn, right?" And then he's like, "Well, what's her favorite flavor of ice cream?" I'm like, "I have no idea." And he goes, "Yes, but you should."
It's butter pecan.
And so do you see what I'm saying? Is that she said that the other day, right? But
You
that's
go,
the
Jess.
thing, is that we don't know those things. And so a lot of what you were saying before about, you know, really surprising and delighting people, and then looking at these 3 C's, content, care, community, you know, it's like the more you know about these people that you're working with, the easier it's going to be to surprise and delight them, because you can do things like send them their favorite flavor of ice cream just because, right? Or you know, if you know that they like
Yeah.
wine, but you know that they like a specific type of, you know, wine from a specific region or something like that, then you can send that instead of something that they're like, "Ew, I would never drink this." You know, I mean, they've got their nose in the air on their wine a little bit, right? So but it was
It's
just
true,
interesting.
and
I
it
think,
means
you
a
know,
lot.
really getting those details and really understanding things about your client, I think it really helps you engage on a deeper level with them, because you can be more specifically in tuned to what's right for them, what they really
Absolutely.
love.
I love that.
Who loves cheesecake?
Mary.
Well, always
Mary
and
loves
forever.
cheesecake.
You'll
I
be
can't eat it,
forever.
but I love it.
So funny. But yeah, and the gifts just mean a lot more too, and it's thoughtful, and you listen, and they get that. It's not just something that you're like, "Great, I have to regift this or throw it out or whatever it is." But and the whole point is just like calling, chatting with them, asking them questions is awesome. Hosting a client event, but done is better than perfect. And so if it's just a quick text that you copy and paste to everyone, that's totally fine too. And then I'm sure you guys know about pop buys, but this is how I grew my business. And it is a pain in the butt sometimes to drive around to everyone, but these little gifts, even if not personalized, even if it's in the Target dollar bin or a box of Girl Scout cookies or whatever, people, it's just the thought that counts. People aren't going to be like, "Oh, she hasn't contacted me in 2 years, and the goal, she just dropped off a gift at my house." Like, most people are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, it's been too long. How are you? Thank you so much for thinking of me." Right?
That's
So,
true.
and I like to follow up with a text and just, you know, say, "Thinking about you guys. I dropped off a small gift. Hope you're doing well. If you can add in something personal, hope the baby's letting you sleep," or whatever, even better. So tons of ideas. We can share ideas of what went over well that you guys have done, but yeah, whether it's a dollar scratch off that I mail or a little tiny succulent that I got on Amazon with a little cute "thanks for helping my business grow" thing for $3. I don't know. What has worked well for you guys? Donations made in your name after the transaction or for holidays? What have you guys done?
So I'm getting ready to go to Louisiana. Every time I go, I contact my clients and ask if anybody, you know, is there anything you want me to bring you back? Some frog legs, some boudin,
That's
and
awesome.
or, you know, my clients want. I bring these ice chests with me and I bring them back full.
I love it. You're going to have a full car. That's awesome. That's super sweet and thoughtful.
My
Yeah.
husband would tell you to pick up some pork chops from, they're stuffed, and it's some famous place in Louisiana. I can't remember what it is, but he would say, "Load me up."
Jessica Nelson says some bundt cakes, and then Joseph Garcia says he paid for pre-move or on
Yeah.
cleaning. That's actually a good one.
I love
That's a
that.
really good one right there.
Awesome. My favorite thing, and it's kind of like a gift and a event at the same time, is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. I have a pie party and everyone orders, you know, tells me what kind of pie they want. I go to Costco and pick them up and put my cute little label on them, and they come by and they say hi. So I don't have to drive around. It is an in-person thing. I always like to tie in a charity or bring a coat for kids or a fan for whatever the time of year is. But it's a little bit easier to control, and all 400 of your people are not gonna order a pie. It's gonna probably be the same 15 to 30 people that support you and all of your things. So I also still kind of like snail mail you guys for certain things like the dollar scratch offs. They're easy to do. Football schedules, we're really into football here. And people love those short lists like best burgers in Austin or best steaks, best whatever. Or, I mean, they can be social media posts too, but it is nice to get mail that's not a bill. Have you guys mailed anything cool?
It's nice to get mail when that's not a bill. Yeah, that's nice.
And not spam like trash ads.
You know, and it's nice to just, if you have, I have a box that's sitting over here on the floor. There's some stuff on top of it, but I have a box and it has just regular blank stationery. It's just envelopes, little note cards, and a whole bunch of those lifetime stamps, you know, because then that you don't have to worry about it expiring or anything like that, right? So, or the postage rate going up. So you just putting a handwritten note of something that just says, you know, oh, I was thinking about you today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope that, you know, I can put a smile on your face or something like that. And it doesn't have to be anything more than that. I had a friend once who would just, not trying to sell me anything like that, but she always made me feel so good because she would drop little notes in the mail. And every now and then I'd get this random little note card from her that was just like, hey, beautiful, good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I'm like, oh, I love that. That makes me feel so good, you know? And I tend to, like, I don't have everybody's home address, you know? But I tend to reach out to people like that and just be like, hey, how are you doing? You know, I hope you're having a great day or whatever. I just want to say hi. And I like to do that because I know how good it makes me feel to receive things like that. And I think that it's really nice to receive those. And so the more that you can do that and just reach out to people, I think it does put a smile on their face. And when you actually hand wrote something and put a stamp on it and threw it in the mail, like there's more effort behind it. And so it's received at a greater level, especially now in the day of going to the mailbox and there's not much in there but garbage. So it is nice to get something, you know, with a handwritten address on it like that. And I love that Dawn uses send out cards because it has that same type of feel to it. And but you can also do that, you know, just handwriting a little note and just putting it out there. It's great.
Yep.
Oh, but
Absolutely.
Angela, so the other night, I think it was maybe 3 or 4 nights ago, I got a text message from Angela, and literally it says, I don't need anything from you, Jay, because usually there's something we need to talk about. I don't need anything from you, Jay. I just want to say hi. So I told my wife about that. My wife started jumping into the conversation and saying hi to her and going back and forth, and it made everybody feel good, right? So that is absolutely, it works for sure.
And your wife is the sweetest, kindest woman there is.
Oh my gosh.
Love getting to know her. She's
love
just
her.
amazing.
And in the chat,
Amazing.
someone asked if you include your business card, Angela.
I don't personally because I'm not in production, so I'm not a realtor the same way you guys are. I mean, I'm a licensed realtor, I'm a licensed broker, but I'm not in production, so I don't do that. I think if you are in production, I don't think there's anything wrong with you throwing your card in there because it has your contact information on it, you know? Nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to be a business thing or a personal thing. You know, if I meet somebody at the grocery store and I overhear them saying something that I'm like, oh, you know, I had this happen once. I was at Whole Foods and this woman was talking about, you know, in the checkout line that she was a nutritionist. And I was like, oh my God, I've been looking for a nutritionist. And she handed me her card and she goes, here you go. I was like, that's so nice. Thank you so much. You know, I mean, it was just nice to connect with somebody that because I had a client that needed a nutritionist and here now I had a referral, you know, it doesn't matter. I think anything that has your contact information on it is perfectly fine. It's also fine to just put in there and say, hey, if you need anything, reach out. Here's my cell phone number and write that in there. That's okay too. You know, whatever you're comfortable with.
I think if they're your, VIP list, they're going to know who you are and what you do. But it's also a good reminder. A lot of people, when they're thinking about, well, who do I know that's a realtor? You should pop up in their mind if they're your A+ VIP, you should. So, maybe not putting a card in there, but just a heartfelt, hey, if you need me, let me know. They're going to know what you're talking about. But your B's, C's, D's, yeah, I would put a card.
Yeah, I like to do some with and some without, but it's totally preference. Like the holiday one, I don't put a card because I just want to say happy holidays or whatever. But these pop by gifts or football schedules, I do. So I do some with and some without.
So I want to say something about the cards. So I use send out cards and I've used it for years, and I love that you can customize the back of it. So the back of it, it's personal but professional at the same time. So no matter what my note is that I'm sharing with the client, they see the back of it, and it has my website and it has everything. So I love that you could brand the back of the cards.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And I
Perfect.
think I started send out cards because of you, Dawn, years and years and years ago. And I let it go. And hearing you talk about it again, I'm like, oh, I should pick that back up because it was fun to do. It was fun to send out little cards, and you can put trinkets with it, and their brownies are
I love that. Yes.
unbelievable. But yeah, like you were saying, in the back of it for Christmas. So we were a little while ago, a couple slides back, asking how to update our database, for Christmas. I'm like, who wants to be on Mary's card list, and I built out a form, and they fill it out, and I would send a Christmas card, but it would be all Christmas. It would be, on the front and the inside and all of that. And then on the back, it would have a tree and me and a little bit about, little real estate. But so, yeah, like Dawn was saying, if you use that send out card, that back of that is your business card, basically.
That's awesome. I love that. And then if you're like me and hate calling people and don't know what to say all the time, and you don't want to be like, do you know anyone that's looking to buy or sell? This is just a good guideline to keep in mind. I mean, the best script ever is just like, hey, how are you? Hey, this is Jessica. It's just conversations. These are just humans in relationship building. It doesn't have to be salesy all the time. We all know those people that when they call, we know that they're going to try to sell us something. So I don't want to be that person, but I do want to care about them and what they're doing. Do you all have any comments on that? And this is a great book also.
I love that. Ninja selling is amazing. And yeah, using the Ford is definitely that non-salesy, and it just opens it up and makes you feel more comfortable to have those conversations. So I would suggest everybody taking a screenshot of this because it really is pretty powerful. If you're worried about making a call, picking up a call, and what am I going to say? Use this. And it gets the conversation going, and it works.
And guess what happens when you ask them how work's going? They're going to ask you how it's going for you, most likely. And so it's really easy to naturally throw in stuff and remind them about real estate.
Absolutely.
And then I love these ideas. These are not original. I got these from Elizabeth Riley, a company I used to work for that shall not be named. No, I'm joking. But really just be yourself, whatever you're into. If you have kids and, are friends with the moms, they can swing by after the first day of school for like a mimosa and moms thing and celebrate that school starting again. Or this coffee and conversation one is a super good idea. I partnered with a lender once and a CPA, and there was a new coffee shop that came in, close to where I lived. So I just said, everyone's invited. You can come ask us questions. Your coffee is on us. Come swing by and get a free coffee. And dividing that tab by 3 is less than $100, for each of the 3 of you. And you just get your name out and touch base with people. People like being in person again now. So there are so many ideas. Crawfish boil with live music, a little place in a model home to wrap gifts and have a glass of wine. And you could even invite, I know, like a candle maker, a jewelry maker, whatever. Women can, I don't know. These are really girly. So sorry, guys. There's also Super Bowl watching parties, and we've had a tailgate one, and there was a good football game on and stuff like that. So whatever is genuine and authentic and whatever you like, you can invite your people to it. What have you guys done that's worked well, or what do you guys think?
I love the get together, that coffee. That was a great idea. You know, just come and sit and talk. I love that idea.
Yeah. And I always, I'm the introvert of the group. I'm like, oh no, we're going to have 300 people here. The bill's going to be crazy. Like, I don't want to go anymore. But not everyone, even that says they're going to go, goes. And really, these are just a great reach out to, that also reminds them you're in real estate, but an invite to something, like an invite to a cute event. Who's gonna, I don't know. It's a reason to reach out.
Mhm.
And it's social media content and it's relationship building. So anyhow.
So
Yeah,
you
and
have something here called Moms and Mimosa. If so, what would we do for dad, for the guys?
I mean,
Dads and
Golf.
yeah. Golf,
Say no more. You know you're gonna drink mimosas or
Coffee?
whatever on the
a drink,
listen, my
No,
husband
cigar?
loves good
Love it.
mimosa.
Cigar.
So
You know, the beautiful thing about all of this is do what fits your personality. Like
there
do
you
what
go,
fits
dads and
your
steaks.
there you go.
All right, that works.
But time
love it.
dads and donuts. Dads
Donuts
golf
with
dads,
dad.
That's a
dads.
good one.
Drinks
Drinks with
with
dads.
dads.
Drinks
Drinks
with,
with
oh,
dads.
I love that. Jessica,
all
that
right.
was awesome.
I like that
Drinks
one,
with
Jessica.
dads.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Jess
Martin's
is trying to
meetup,
get
that's
everybody to
great.
go get steaks.
Or smashed.
I love it.
I think we've gone over a lot of this, but it just, is good to be thought of. And there's different ways. This is from Buffini. You can come up with a goal, whether it's daily, weekly, annually, and just sit down and build out your plan. I have that on another slide. But this CBS sports bracket, if you're into sports, it's free for everybody, and it's fun it makes it more fun to watch games, and you can just add everyone to a bracket during March Madness. And I don't know, there's a lot of free and more masculine things that you can do for whoever is into more sporty things, but you can also pop by two businesses quarterly and just grab breakfast tacos or donuts or breakfast and swing by with some cards. And it's a good way to reach a lot of people at some local businesses in your area and to build relationships with them. Anyway, I'll post these slides. There's a ton of different ideas and reasons to touch base with people, but I just have a random spreadsheet with like reasons to call every month and things I've done in the past and mailer ideas and whatever. So
I love your spreadsheets, Jess. They're great.
Mhm.
You have the
it's a little
best
bit messy.
spreadsheets.
I'll go fast. But yeah, it's just like, remembering ideas. It doesn't matter if it's the same thing 2 years in a row. The details are less relevant than just some consistency, even if it hasn't been perfect, even if it's annually, a small gift annually, a mail out annually, and an event. Like it's awesome. A lot of people aren't doing even one a year. So between that and social media, people really feel like they know you and trust you and like you. And it's just good to help those relationships.
Jess, what is it that you said earlier? Done is better than nothing. Is that what you said?
Done is better than perfect.
Done is better than perfect. I love it.
And there's our 7 levels of communication book, which I love.
Mhm.
There's so many resources out there. If anybody has any questions or wants to chat about it, I like all of it. But I have to always remember that done is better than perfect. Like it's hard to send out something that you don't think is perfect or have an event that you're not completely ready for, but you don't get complaints. You just get people and relationships, and people don't notice all the little things that we notice. So
Yeah.
And for those of you guys who have not read 7 Levels, I'll tell you, it's sometimes I find it hard to read business books because I get kind of bored after a while, especially if it's like some of these ideas. I'm like, I've heard this before, and then you're telling me. One of the things that I love about Michael's books, that one and Miracle Morning for Real Estate Agents, is that they both read like a fiction book.
They're
So it's
storytelling.
very
Yeah.
it's story based. They're super cheesy, kind of like a Hallmark movie, kind of cheesy, you know, but just as satisfying to to read. So I've read 7L 4 times. Every single time I read it, I capture something else that I missed out on before. And then I'll also tell you, for those of you who are, you know, really wanting to make sure that you come across in a very authentic, natural way. I have a friend of mine, his name is Joseph Nunziata. He wrote a book called 𝘎𝙪𝙮𝙤𝙦 right here, which is a really good book. And it says your guide to high energy, no pressure selling. He's a good friend of mine. He's absolutely amazing. I've known him for years and years. And the only reason that I know him is because he wrote a book originally called Spiritual Selling that was really focused on coming from a heart-centered place with your sales. And I enjoyed the book so much. There was a number for his office in the back of the book, and I called the number just thanking him because I'd never read a book that was like that before and addressing sales like that. And he, like a month later, he was going through all his messages that were stacked on his desk, and apparently I won the lottery, and he called me, and we ended up talking on the phone for like an hour. And then we became Facebook friends, and this was probably back in like 2009. And we've just been really good friends ever since. And he's awesome. And this is his second edition of that book. He rewrote it and called Healed the Deal. So it's a pretty good one. I really enjoy that one as well.
Love that.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you, ladies. Good stuff today. By the way, one of the stuff, I'm still looking at the chat box, and I'm really enjoying the different titles here. Especially, I just saw, I overlooked this one earlier, but I didn't see this. I just saw right now from Carmen, Top Golf for Top Dad.
Oh, I love
it.
Or you can even change it from dads to dudes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that is true.
We're not singling out the dads.
Yeah.
It's all you,
That's a
all
good
you
one.
men.
No, I like that. There's some good ones. Definitely the steak thing idea from Joseph. I mean, I'll do a steak any day anyway. So
He's still trying to get us all to get gutter steaks in the chat.
Oh. For those of you guys who haven't met Joseph yet, for those of you who haven't met Joseph, I don't know if Joseph, you can speak for a second, but Joseph is up in the Palo Alto area. His wife is a professor at Stanford, so smart people. He did about 80 transactions in his first 2 years in real estate.
Wow.
So he's going to be coming on in the next few weeks as well on the Agent Circle, speaking on his experience, what he does and whatnot as well. So I'm really super excited for him to come on. He's probably not able to turn on right now, but he's coming up and dropping all these little good nuggets of information inside the chat box today for us. Love it. Thank you.
So does anybody have any questions or anything to add? We're right almost at the top of the hour, but does anybody have anything to add or any questions?
No one?
I love it. We were so thorough that nobody has any questions.
Today was a fun one. Thank you so much, ladies.
A couple of you asked about the recording. We will be putting this recording into the performance group on Facebook and our private group, and it also will be on YouTube. I sent the private YouTube channel to whoever asked me for it in a private message. So if anyone else needs it, just message me and I'll send it to you.
On a side note, Don, we're also having the graphic redone, so it's more proportional for the right size of whatever you're putting that up on. So that'll work for us as well. Okay.
Great.
And
awesome.
Yes, Carmen, I absolutely will. I'll send you that spreadsheet. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you. It was good to see you all. I hope everyone has a fabulous weekend.
Happy
Thank
Friday.
you, Angela. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Jessica. Don, of course. Where's Mr. Walter Gonzalez? I think he might have popped off by now. He was actually on here anyways. So Walter's actually busy taking I think it's like a $1.5 million listing right now, and he still showed up on Friday. How cool is that?
And he's busy trying to figure out how to be the Hamburglar.
And the
virtual Hamburglar.
We are so going to make that happen, Mary.
Oh no.
Anyhow, thank you everyone for joining us for this Agent Circle live session for this week. We look forward to connecting with you guys again next week, 9 o'clock Friday Pacific time, 11 Central, and of course noon in Eastern time. See everyone next week.
Thank you.
Awesome.
so
Thank
much.
you. Great job.